One of the most difficult things in life, one of the most heartbreaking things in life, is watching a loved one, a family member, someone close to us, declining in health right before our very eyes. Even more difficult is being the caregiver to that person. You're giving your energy, you're giving your life, you're giving your every ounce of what you have inside of you, and at the same time, emotionally watching them decline in front of you. It's hard for all of us, no matter who we are. My next guest has just released a new book which describes that whole experience which she has gone through and lessons for all of us. She is well known, a longtime friend of mine, political commentator, founder of the iconic website Politichicks.com it was called. She's currently a television interviewer at Happy Trails Television. And she used to guest host for me when I'd go out on take some time off back in the day over at One America News. The name of her book is Walking Each Other Home, A Caregiver's Journey of Grace. Let me welcome Anne Marie Murrell. Anne Marie, so good to see you.
Rick, I can't even, it's so weird seeing you again in like this aspect of life. I mean, it's been almost I posted a little Facebook thing this morning just to see if I could still be on camera. And I was so nervous and I'm like, I can't mess up Rick Amato. So thank you.
Well, you're very welcome. Yeah, we're accustomed to seeing each other in person before all this, and that's why you say it's kind of weird like this right now. Um, you were living in Los Angeles. Both of your parents came down with Alzheimer's,
Yeah.
and you moved back home to Texas from California to take care of them. And that is what your book is about, walking each other home, a caregiver's journey of grace, correct?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, the walk for me was God literally taking me by the arms and dragging me to Texas because this isn't a story about some great, wonderful daughter. I wasn't. I wasn't until God brought me home, and I learned to put my priorities in order, and that's God and family, and that wasn't who I used to be. So when they both were diagnosed with Alzheimer's, I didn't have a choice and got on my knees and prayed and kind of hoping that he would say, yeah, we'll find someone else to do this for you. But it was me and it changed my life. And it was a blessing. And as hard as it was and as sad as it could be, it was extraordinary. The the evolution of my soul and who I am and who I'll always be forever now. My life has changed for the better. So it's good. It's a good, happy story, even though it's got a lot of sad parts.
What you
It's a
just
story of redemption.
what you just said, Anne Marie, is astounding. Take us back and specify, if you can, elaborate when you say God told you.
Mhm. When I first went home, I only went home maybe once a year to Texas. I left when I was almost 20 and never went back and never wanted to go back. I loved my parents, but at a distance, I focused my life on me. So, so when I went back and my dad was diagnosed with dementia, I packed up their house. I moved them into an independent living facility so my mother could take care of him like she had been. And I planned to go back to California and resume my life and be on your show again and do all the things that I did for myself before. But then my mother was diagnosed right before I was going to go back to California. So I got on my knees and I prayed, and it was that night I received a dream or a vision, whatever you want to call it, but it was literally someone who looked like Jesus directing me on the road to veer off in a different direction. And when I woke up, It was like Ebenezer Scrooge on Christmas morning. I was a different person. I had a direction. I had a goal. I knew what I had to do. And I dropped everything in my entire life and I followed God instead of me.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was weird. And it wasn't expected, and no one expected, even my friends from childhood, when I came back here, nobody ever thought I would come back here. And once I was here, I realized that I had never been home until I got home this time. I didn't have a home anywhere else. I was always homeless. I was always drifting, always looking for something. There was something I was always trying to fill, and I didn't know what it was. And it was God. It was putting him above and beyond everything else in life and then family. So yeah, it's good. I was the prodigal son, only I'm a daughter. I went away and I came back. I was lost and I'm found. That's the whole
Wow.
theme.
Wow. Has God or Jesus intervened with you since that
Oh
moment?
yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, I every day, every moment, I pray continuously. This book mostly it's not something I ever thought I would want to get back into, even doing media, doing anything like this. But I feel like it's a story that a lot of people can relate to. I I didn't know how to caregive. I was not ever, oops, sorry, my ear thing keeps.
That's okay. That's
I'm
good.
so new at this new kind of stuff. Um, I didn't know I wasn't a good mother. I wasn't a good really anything in life,
Really?
the rest of my life. I had to learn how to do everything. I learned how to cook. I learned how to take care of her, my both my parents, until my father passed first. And then I took care of my mother for the next 2 years until she died. I had to learn everything about life all over again. And it's wonderful. And I'm still living it every day. I'm traveling now. I'm not going to let life or anything of the world get in my way ever again.
What got in your way? You say not let anything get in your way again. What got
Yeah.
in your way before?
Um, ego, the sense of wanting things just for myself and wanting to advance my own life, that kind of thing. It's very important in a lot of ways, as long as you don't hurt or leave people behind that you need to keep in your world. With politics, I really thought that I could make a difference in California. I thought that just talking about it and wishing it and wanting it and doing all the things that I did for 10 years was going to make a big change. And meanwhile, everything in my life, my family was falling apart in Texas. I didn't even know. I didn't know how bad things were. I was laser beam focused. California can do that to you, you know, Rick.
Yeah.
It can be a drug. It can be all kinds of weird things if you let it, if you don't have your priorities in order. And I didn't. I hate to say this because it's almost like I'm not really speaking highly of myself, but I really needed to change in my life. Just like I keep going back to the prodigal son story. That summarizes it for me.
Would you have considered yourself to be a Christian prior to this moment where you had this dream?
I always thought I was a good Christian, and I've always believed, I've never lacked faith or any of that. But, putting a Christian, just saying you're a Christian is one thing, but living a life
Yeah.
as a Christian is a whole different thing. It's a whole different feeling. It's a whole different everything. I don't know if you watched The Chosen, but the way that I can best describe it, when um, the the character that plays Jesus told the character who plays Matthew, "Follow me," and he dropped everything. He was in the middle of working, and he just left. He left everything. He left his beautiful home. He left his parents. He left everything to follow Jesus, and that's the way I feel. That's where I am right now.
Amazing, Anne Marie. Amazing. We're going to take a quick break and we're going to continue with Anne Marie Murrell, her book, which is just launched this week is called Walking Each Other Home, a caregiver's journey of grace. Back right after this. I continue with Anne Marie Murrell, author of the book Walking Each Other Home, a caregiver's journey of grace, where she cared for both of her parents who each had Alzheimer's. Anne Marie, what do you want readers to take away, get out of your book?
Um, uh, First of all, if you're a caregiver, I encourage you, especially if you're a Christian, pray. Pray ceaselessly. Pray about discernment. Ask for guidance. Ask for kindness and patience. Those are the things you need the very, very, very most. I talk about how you need to trust God, but don't trust every other caregiver in the world. Don't trust a nursing home. You've got to be so vigilant. If you read the part about my father is pretty brutal because he was in a nursing home. He became violent. His disease took a different turn. Mom and dad had to be separated, and he was in lockdown in a lockdown facility nursing home right when COVID hit, right when the lockdown began, and I couldn't visit him anymore. And that part of my book is brutal. It shows how quickly someone can go down without family watching intervention. It was horrible. He died a terrible death, which is why I bought a house and made my mother move in with me and took care of her till the very end of her life. And her story is a lot more beautiful than my father's. But it's the probably the main thing is be vigilant. If you put your family in a nursing home, visit every day. Even if you've got hospice, I watched hospice care who came into my own house. I watched them like a hawk. I didn't let anything go. I knew everything about their medications. I knew everything I could. It's hard, but it's manageable. And I encourage people, if they can, if you can, bring him, let them live with you if there's any way possible. It's not as hard as it seems. It's sad, but it's also beautiful.
And you say beautiful, you say there's good happiness in the book. Give us some examples.
Yeah, it is. It's a story, especially the story of my mother. My her mother had Alzheimer's, her brother and sister had Alzheimer's, and my mother had it, and she never knew. She thought she could get dressed every morning and go teaching like she did for 43 years. She never knew. She would talk about what a great memory she has, and then she would say the same thing every few seconds. I mean, it was she was funny and quirky and wonderful. She had some trouble at the end. She ended up after COVID, she had COPD, and that is actually what killed her. Um, but she lived a beautiful life, and she was surrounded with family. My grandson was born 3 months before she died, so she was able to see her first great grandchild, and it's a beautiful story. And but it's also a story with warnings. I put in my mistakes, I put in my missteps, and I hope that if anyone learns anything, they can learn not to do some of the stuff I did.
To what age did your parents live to?
My mom was she died 2 days before her 86th birthday, and my dad died at 88. So they had good lives. And I don't know if you know this part. I think I've told you. I'm not sure. I was diagnosed too after I had some issues, some memory issues. I I didn't want to be like everyone else in my family who had Alzheimer's and didn't know, and there wasn't anything they could do about it. They just kind of slipped into it like into a warm bath. I wanted to know one way or the other. So I put myself through the horrible dementia tests and the psychoneurological tests, and I failed miserably. So I know, so I set up my life. I'm following the rules in my own book. And that was another reason I wanted to finish it when I did, as a guide for my kids. So
Wow.
yeah.
So you have Alzheimer's, you're prone to have it.
It's no, it's I have mild cognitive I can't think I never think of that word. Mild cognitive disorder, which is early onset Alzheimer's. And I did that after had a couple of oh my goodness. My phone is calling.
That's okay. It's okay. Go ahead.
So new at this. Yeah, I had a lot of different issues. I actually was on TV live with Morgan during the first Trump election, and in New York on TV, and I blanked out completely. And she saw it. She saw it happening to me
Morgan
as,
Brittany.
as it was. Yeah, Morgan Brittany, my buddy and co-star. She um she was right there and saw it happen. It happened another time. And so I saw different signs over the years since about 2016 is when it all first started for me. So I got tested and now I know.
Well, you would never know it communicating with you. And for our viewers, Morgan Brittany is a great actress. She starred in Dallas, and she starred as Opie's first girlfriend in the Andy Griffith Show.
Yeah. Yeah. And she was in Yours, Mine, and Ours with Henry Fonda, Lucille Ball. She did everything. She was an everything actress from childhood to as a grown up and just wonderful person. So yeah, I love my Morgan. I miss her.
Anne Marie, where can our viewers purchase your book?
On Amazon and just it's all over Amazon. I'm hoping to get it in different stores. I'm not sure how to do that. I've independently published this because I figure I wanted to have better control over it than a big publisher this time. So Amazon, I'm gonna try to be different places to visit people and sign things. And I don't know how much I am able to do, but I'm going to do whatever I can.
All right.
Amazon.
Anne Marie, I want to thank you for joining us. It's a beautiful story. One I was not aware of in terms of your experience of with God and Jesus and your path down Christianity. To our viewers out there, the book again is called Walking Each Other Home, A Caregiver's Journey of Grace. It's available at Amazon.com. And I encourage you to purchase the book. It sounds like a beautiful book and a great life lessons for all of us from the wonderful, the renowned, my longtime friend, Anne Marie Murrell. Thank you for joining us, Anne.